Hi, you guys. So we are here for another week. We are in our second week of quarter two, four, which is so crazy. So we are going to kind of shift gears this week. I know last week we were talking a lot about scatter plots and representing two different types of responses in one area, and we're going to be doing the same this week, a little bit different, a different kind of display. As you guys can see, today we're going to be talking about what's called bivariate categorical data. And I know that those seem like scary words, but it is not so bad. So let's get started. Okay, so as we know, when you collect data, you are getting information about a certain population, whether it be the people in your town, the people in your grade, people of a certain age, or boys or girls. You're collecting information about something. And that information can fall in between two categories. Um, One, as you can see, is called measurement data, and that consists of measures like height and weight or um, distances, speeds, things like that. Anything that's like a type of measure. And then categorical data is pretty much any other kind of data that falls into categories. So, like gender or I don't know, like favorite colors, things like that you would pick a category rather than a specific number. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind, the two different types of data. Okay, so as you guys can see here, let me move this. I have some examples of categorical data and measurement data. So let's start with measurement data. Measurement data over in the purple. Some examples would be commute time and city populations, because both of those are measurements. Time is a measurement, and population is a number of people, which is also a measurement. And then, as you guys can see, the categorical data, or things that fall into categories, would be things like zip codes, tree species, like types of trees, so birch or oak or whatever other kinds of trees there are. Ask Miss Phelps. Or Miss Haley rather, and eye colors. Those are different categories. And I know what you guys are probably thinking, but Miss, zip codes are numbers. Those are, but yes, they are numbers, but they are not measurements. Like say you replace zip code with town, because every town has a different zip code. Rather than saying a zip code, you could say the town name. It's not measuring something specific. It's just saying where you live. So that's why zip code is in the categorical data section. Okay. So kind of going off of that, area codes. So like when you type in your phone number, everything starts with 413. So that's an area code, 413. Like my area code, because I'm not normally from Western Mass, is 774. Those are not measurements though. That's not measuring something. That's basic. That's just saying what part of the state you live in. So that's another thing where a number can also, it's not necessarily a measurement just because it's a number. All right, let's move on. Okay, so when we're talking about scatter plots, we were talking about something, what is called bivariate data, and that is where you are studying two different things. So, like whether it be like heights of trees and types of trees, whether it be, I don't know, but two different things going on. That's bivariate data, and that prefix bi actually means two. So there's two data points going on. That's what that word bivariate means. And then bivariate categorical data is when you're pairing things into two categories. Two things into separate categories. So say you want to know the gender of somebody and whether they have a pet. That is bivariate categorical data, because there are two different things that would both fall into categories: their gender and their pet or no pet. So those are the two categories: gender and pet or no pet, or yes or no for that question. Okay. Now, which survey or surveys can be used to collect bivariate categorical data? Are you male and female, and how did you get to school today? Yes, survey one would be bivariate categorical data, because this is categories, male or female, And how did you get to school today is also categories because you could walk, bus, um, get a ride. So that is bivariate categorical data. There are two different things, one, two, that are being put into categories. How many minutes does it take you to get to school? How many inches tall are you? While yes, that's bivariate because there's two different things going on. Those are not categories. That's not categorical data. That is measurement data. So that is not bivariate categorical data. That would be bivariate measurement data because those are measurements. And I also want you guys kind of taking notes for your summary at the end. I probably should have said that at the beginning of the video. So if I were you, I would maybe pause the video and jot down a couple of things so far that you've watched. Did you watch a movie last weekend? Did you play a game last weekend? Did you do homework last weekend? So yes, those are all categories because those are all yes or no categories, like watch movie or did not, play a game, did not. But there are three. There are three questions there, not two. For bivariate needs to be two. That'd be maybe trivariate. Is that a word? Probably not. All right. Tell which surveys you can use to collect bivariate categorical data. What is your favorite type of movie? How many siblings do you have? That would be a no because this is a measurement. That does not fall into categories. That falls into a number. That is a measurement. Do you play a sport? Do you want to go to college? This would be a yes because those are both category questions that are yes or no categories. All right, let's keep going. Sorry, Bear's going to go crazy because the mailman's here. All right, so you want to see if there's an association between dogs being purebred and needing surgery during the last year. Do a survey to collect this. So you would want to ask two questions. Is your dog purebred and did your dog need surgery in the last year? And the categories for each of those would be yes or no. And that would actually, so then you would get four different answers. You would have your four different answers are on the bottom. You could have a purebred that needed surgery, purebred that did not. You could have a non-purebred who needed surgery, and a non-purebred that did not. So these are your questions here. Is your dog purebred? Did your dog need surgery? That is bivariate categorical data because you're asking two questions that fall into categories. The variables are purebred and needed surgery, and both data would fall into yes or no. Okay, so I think I've rambled on enough, so we're actually going to skip over that. And I'm going to let you guys head to do the Pearson, and I will be on Zoom at 10 o'clock if you guys have any questions. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.